Hi, I'm Tom Ziegler, CEO of the Zig Ziglar Corporation, and I'm so glad you're right here on the Ziglar Coaching Academy on the Leadership Channel, the Coach Leadership Channel inside of our academy. And this is where we work with leadership coaches and leaders in organizations of all sizes. And ultimately, our goal is to coach leaders how to coach their people. And if you're a leadership coach or an executive coach already, we have a proven process that we use and we can certify you in to help leaders grow and be more effective. So here's an interesting question from a leadership perspective. Do we want our team, do we want each individual on our team focused on happiness or on purpose? Well, wait a second, that's kind of a weird thing. Well, let me just tell you, as a leader, what we've got to understand is that people wake up every day and they're like judging the day by what's happening to them, what's going on. Are they excited about the future? And it's like this little happiness bar is going up and down, right? And when we saw it, mental health and wellness that's the number one challenge in corporate America today, and even around the world, is people are unhappy. And it's because there's this disconnect between constant marketing and information that says, oh, you should be happy. You should be happy. And if you're not happy, boy, there's a problem. Maybe you're not doing the right thing. Maybe you're not focusing in the right areas. Maybe somebody ate your cake. Maybe somebody stole your job. Maybe somebody else is getting the credit for what you're doing. And then all of a sudden they spiral into this thing and they're like, oh my goodness, I need to be happy. And so what do? They go home and they binge on cheesecake and watch Netflix. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, and then they wake up the next morning with 3 hours of sleep. They've watched a whole season in one night and they've had 2 cheesecakes. And now they're really happy, right? They come in grumpy. They're coming off a sugar high, and they didn't get any sleep. And you can just tell that something's not right. And it's because people have been lied to. They've been told you need to be happy. Well, as a leader, what do we focus on? Well, traditionally, it's always about the results. What have you done for me? How are you performing? How are you adding value to the organization? And so we can go too far on that side because, man, if I'm unhappy and the deck is stacked against me and now you're making me come in I used to work at home all the time and now I got to come in and, I keep hearing there's reports that AI is going to take my job and nobody's telling me if that's the truth or not. Wow, we've got a challenge. And maybe that's the business that you're in right now, or you've seen it in other departments and you're like, I don't want that to happen here. Well, let me show you how to flip that. There's a great quote by a good friend and mentor of mine. His name is Rabbi Daniel Lapin. And he says this. He says, the opposite of depression is not happiness. The opposite of depression is purpose. Let me say that again. The opposite of depression is purpose. And so here's the power in this statement. As a leader, when we care enough about our people to develop a relationship where we can start to understand and ask them the meaningful questions. Hey, what does success look like to you? And why is that important to you? All of a sudden, we're moving them from happiness as the focus to purpose. So when somebody says, oh, I want to make this money, why? Oh, well, I want to provide for my family. I want to retire. I want to travel. I want these different things. Well, why? What is your purpose in that? Well, I just want to make a difference. I want to know that I added value. I want to leave something of significance to my family. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. And so if somebody says, well, as a leader, I'd love to help you achieve that why. I want you to have that life. I want you to create that in your own world. Would you like some help? Well, that person on your team is going to say, yeah, how would we do that? Well, let's get real clear. Let's start to understand who we need to become, the attitudes, efforts, and skills we got to develop in ourselves so that we can move towards our purpose. So this is the magic in this. When somebody is taking steps towards their purpose, when you're on the road, listen to this, when you're on the road to purpose, happiness shows up because we can control the steps we take on the road to purpose. We can't control AI. We can't control the economy. We can't control what the other people on the other side of the building do or say, but we can control what we are doing every day to move towards our purpose. And as coach leaders, that's the message that we've got to spread throughout our team. And so I want you to really meditate on this. Do you know the people on your team so well that you know their why, their goals, their purpose? And if you don't, why not? Is it because you've never asked them? Did you think it was inappropriate? Let me just tell you this. I've never had one person that I've asked this question to get offended. Hey, between now and the end of the year, what does success look like to you? Man, that's a great question. As a coach leader, as a leadership coach, we should really dig into that. And so when that person says, well, success would look to me like, and whatever picture they paint, that's the picture we go with. And you start saying, tell me more. And then you go, and why is that important to you? See, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting to the internal intrinsic motivation that's driving them towards that purpose. And when you can get purpose on the table is why we do what we do, then that's when lives change. All right, I hope this was beneficial to you. Thank you for being a part of the Ziglar Coaching Academy. This is the Leadership Challenge. We'd love to help you with that. So hit subscribe and like if you got a lot out of this session. If you have a comment below, and then go to Ziglar.com if you want to learn more. We would love to help you on your journey, because here's the thing. When we're focused on purpose, happiness shows up. And when we help others focus on purpose, happiness starts to overflow. Not because we're pursuing happiness. We shouldn't do that. Happiness is too fast. We'll never catch it. But here's the thing. The closer we get to purpose, the more happiness is in the room. We'll see you next time on the Ziglar Coaching Academy.